ba taɓa ganin jam'iyya mai sharri ba irin APC ba taɓa yi ba. Shi sa kullum mun sa shugabanni sai mu rinka ganin gwanda wannan da wannan. A ƙasar nan ba irin tsanar da ba a Goodluck Ebele Jonathan ba, musamman 'yan arewa suka tsane saboda addini, saboda shi ba ɗan arewa ba ne. Suka je suka kawo wanda suke ganin laya a sunan lahani, suka je suka kawo shi.
Among all the things the Muslim clerics said against the APC, how they deceived them in voting out Jonathan, how they brought in Buhari who became a disaster, and how Tinubu is worse than Buhari at this time. The most important takeaway from all he said is the fact that the authorities are demanding that Muslim clerics in the north do not criticize Tinubu, otherwise they will be arrested. This is against their human rights of free speech. There's nothing wrong in criticizing the government, and everyone reserves the right to do that. If they're intimidating them not to criticize Tinubu, then they are wrong. All he said will be at the end of the video for those who understand Hausa very well. This is why everyone must be talking. Those who are sitting on the fence, it's either they are doing it for selfish reasons, they want to be in the good books of people in power, and they don't want to hurt their chances of benefiting something in the future. Just like one lady was denied a CBN directorship because people raised a tweet she made during the presidential election that Labour Party won in her polling unit. As such, they withdrew the appointment. So if fence-sitters aren't doing it for selfish reasons, they might be doing it because they are afraid. But why will someone be afraid if he knows he's not committing any crime? Criticizing the government is no crime, it's the right of every citizen. Anyway, the reason many people don't take Northerners seriously this time that Tinubu is in power, that they've been complaining, is because they never complained during Buhari's time. Yes, you can count one or two people that continued criticizing Buhari at the time, but it wasn't as high as it is today. So that's why people don't take them seriously. They've been fence-sitters in the past. Today, they are criticizing the government, making their voice heard, telling the government, hey, what you are doing is not good. You are impoverishing Nigerians. You are increasing the price of virtually everything that poor men depend on. This is why everyone must be talking every time, because you don't know when it will come to your doorstep. By now, everyone must have learned the lessons that everyone goes to the same market. When they were voting based on religion or tribe, they weren't considering the fact that hardship will hit everyone. This time, all the policies that Tinubu have implemented, it doesn't demand the tribe of anyone before affecting the person. No one goes to the filling station to buy fuel at a cheaper price because the person comes from the north or from the south, or the person is Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo or any other tribe in Nigeria. Everyone goes to the same market. The bread costs the same thing for everyone. So by now, everyone must have learned lessons to understand that whatever is wrong in the society deserves to be criticized, no matter if it is your brother that is in power or your brother that is the central bank governor that is making the policy. Today, many Northerners are lamenting and regretting having voted Tinubu, that it seems that Tinubu is targeting them. Many of them are opposed to the relocation of many government departments to Lagos. They believe that all these departments must stay in Abuja, that Abuja is the capital. They feel the government is targeting them, despite the fact that the government has explained that these measures were taken in order to save costs. The reason Northerners seem to be experiencing the hardship more is because of their overdependence on government largesses and social welfare. There are fewer factories in the north, unlike the south. Most of their jobs are government jobs, police, army, civil service. Their politicians use their influence to get them these jobs, and they like their dependence on social welfare. They use that to convince them during elections to vote for whoever they want to vote. But that's not how to build a better society. Even this Imam that is complaining today, he's among the people being used by politicians during elections to convince their followers to vote whoever they want. And now that he has realized his mistake, he should use his good office not just for criticizing the government, but to also educate his followers. People need to do the right thing, not every time doing the same thing based on ethnicity or religion. They need to choose the right leader. What Nigeria needs now is not the status quo. Nigerians need who will save the country and put it back on track for growth. Nigerians don't need the ethnicity of the person that will do the job. And the fact that you have your brother or fellow tribesman in power doesn't mean that your community will be paved with gold. Look at Buhari. A great example is what is happening in the Northwest. He couldn't solve these problems in his geopolitical zone, in his state of origin. The people living in his local government area, their lives are no better than when Buhari was not in power. So despite being a general, he couldn't solve any of the problems faced by his people. By now, people must have understood that the fact that your brother is in power doesn't mean anything. Goodluck Jonathan spent more time in the north than the south when he was in power. In fact, after his years in power, he came back to Otuoke in Bayelsa State, his hometown, and realized that there was no drinking water. Yes, even if water isn't under the federal government, he should have used his influence as the then president to influence the governor of Bayelsa State at the time, whether it was Sylvia or whoever was there at the time, to at least build a water project in his hometown. He didn't do any of this. He was concentrated in the north, trying to please the north so that they will vote for him during the re-election. In fact, it was Buhari's administration that eventually built a water project in Otuoke. So many people should understand how governance works, especially in the north. They should get educated. They should look at other Muslim countries to see how developed they are. Yes, many of them are monarchies, but the most important thing is that they do not joke with development. Why do we joke with development in Nigeria? Why do we prefer social welfare and palliatives to having massive jobs and development everywhere? Why do we ask the ethnicity of people aspiring to lead us when we do not ask the ethnicity of a driver before boarding a bus? Neither do we ask the ethnicity of a doctor before accepting to be treated in a hospital. These are people that can harm people directly. A doctor might inject the wrong drug and that's the end. A drunk driver might be careless in driving and they will have an accident and people will die. We are not concerned about all this. We are only concerned about people who lead us. When even private individuals or companies will not hire the kind of people we impose on Nigerians because of ethnicity and religion. All these have to stop, otherwise we will never make progress. So all the Muslim clerics expressing their displeasure at the hardship Nigerians are going through right now should not just stop at criticizing the government, they should use the same energy to educate their people. The reason Nigeria is not working is because incompetent people are in power. Incompetent people are not only in the presidency or in the different government houses in Nigeria, they are also in government civil service. If an incompetent director in a civil service or a department of government is not doing his job correctly, it will affect the performance of the ministry. That's how it works. So nobody should say, this one is my brother, leave this one. He's a civil servant, leave this one. He's a soldier, he's a policeman. No, everyone in management position, whether it's police, whether it's anything, any leadership position, the person must be competent in order to make a change. If people are not competent, the country can never advance. That's how it works. No one can eat his cake and have it. You cannot be demanding for your brother to be in power when he's not competent. The Buhari example is still fresh in our minds. So no one should expect the country to advance under an incompetent person. Every position must be filled with a competent person, no matter the tribe of that person. And competence doesn't have a tribe. Competent people can be found in all tribes across Nigeria. So it is time for everyone to do the right thing.
Ba taɓa ganin jam'iyya mai sharri ba irin APC. Ba taɓa yi ba. Shi sa kullum mun sa shugabanni sai mu rinka ganin gwanda wannan da wannan. A ƙasar nan ba irin tsanar da ba ya Goodluck Ebele Jonathan ba, musamman 'yan arewa. Suka tsane saboda addini, saboda shi ba dan arewa bane. Suka je suka kawo wanda suke ganin laya a sunan Allah ne. Suka je suka kawo shi da zalunci da komai. Wani yake ga mun yace lokacin da za a yi zaben shi kadai ya danna ƙuri'a ta kai 1000. aka yi magudi aka kawo shi, dan magudi ne. Inda wani zai danna ƙuri'a sama da ɗaya an yi magudi. Mutane suka ɗauke tauhidinsu daga Allah suka mai da shi kan wannan bawan Allah, sai zama tun da ake yin shugabanni, ni a iya fahimta ta, wallahu alam, ni ban san wani shugaba da ya cuci Najeriya ya dora ta a gwadaban da ta karye ta lalace muka shiga bala'in da muke karɓar farashi har zuwa yanzu ba irin wannan bawan Allah. Babu. Ya sa ƙasa a bala'i da shi da 'yan gwamnatinsa, ya sa ƙasa a musiba. To kuma saboda sannan shi kuma wannan shi ma ya zo ya dora, shi ma ya ci gaba. Shi sa a Najeriya ba taɓa ganin jam'iyya mai sharri ba irin APC, ba taɓa yi ba, saboda ta jefa wannan ƙasar a cikin musiba da bala'i. Kuma duk wanda yake da hannu, in wanda zai tuba ne, Allah sa ya tuba ya gyara kafin ya mutu. Amma in har yanzu da shi ake ba mu wahala, ya Ubangiji muna roƙonka kai mana maganinsa ta hanyar da ka ga dama. A wani na bayanin cewa sun ce wai in malamai suna magana akan gwamnatinsu, wai za su kama malamai. Ba sun daɗe ba su kama ba. In kun kama malami sai me? Ku kama. In kun kama ku kuma Allah zai kama ku. Kuma dama duk malamin da yake fitowa ya magana, ku kuna tunanin wai yana tsoron a kama shi ne? To a Najeriya wani sa'in ma ba gwanda a kama ka ba, akai ka je ka ringa cin abinci, akai ka prison, inna laka alla tajua fiha wala ta'ra wa annaka la tazma'u fiha wala tadha. Balle a barka anan kana shan wahala. Mutane da sun ci amanar talakawa, sun ci amanar al'umma, sun ci amanar al'umma. Kuma dole a faɗi gaskiya, saboda sun ci amanar al'umma, kuma wallahi Allah ba zai kyale su ba.